most people have been waiting for the future ACCA qualification, the new structure, which I know many of you have actually seen, probably on our website or through communication that's coming in from UK. Now, the new qualification, which is going to take off next year in 2027, and I will give you the dates after this, is precisely going to look like this. Now, we are changing the names of the levels that we had. So what you see as foundations here is what we used to call, or what we currently call, foundations in accountancy. So foundations in accountancy is currently for those students that don't meet the minimum entry requirements to join ACCA. And we know our minimum entry requirements of 5 credits at O level and 2 principal passes at A level. Now, once you don't meet that, then we've been advising you start with the foundations in accountancy. And currently we have a total of 7 papers at that level. So what was happening, or what is currently happening, is when you do the foundations in accountancy and come into ACCA, we transfer you into ACCA, but we make you skip the second level of ACCA, which you see here, which we currently call the knowledge papers or the applied knowledge. Now, instead of the 7 papers that people are doing right now to get into ACCA, what we are saying is we are cutting those papers down to 3 papers only. And at that level, once that person is done with the 3 papers, they get what we call a diploma in accounting and business at that level. But on top of the papers themselves, or the exams themselves, we have added what we call the essential employability modules, and these are compulsory. They are actually a requirement for you before you move into the next level. So you have to do that. It is not an exam. We are not saying it is an exam, sit in an examination room, but it is what we currently call the ethics and professional skills module that we are instead breaking down and making it a requirement for every student to do before they finish every level. Or at the point of completing that level, you must also complete that essential employability module that is embedded or added to the exams. So the foundations in accountancy is reducing to 3 papers. However, now the catch is you cannot, when we come into ACC after the foundations, you are not going to skip the knowledge level. You are actually required to still continue and do the papers, the 3 papers at the knowledge level of ACCA. The difference is this time you are going to be required to do the 3 papers at level 1 of ACCA instead of skipping that knowledge level and going to the applied skills level. So the knowledge, applied knowledge is changing. The word is changing to just knowledge. It's not applied knowledge. It is knowledge. It still has 3 papers. However, at that level, you realize that we have actually removed business and technology. That is BT, the BT paper. Now we have moved that paper and we have maintained financial accounting, management accounting, and we have pulled business law from second level of ACCA and brought it to the knowledge level of ACCA. So that level still has 3 papers. The difference is B-Law has moved to level 1 of ACCA instead, and we have removed BT and spread it still within the employability skills modules. Now, at that level, once you're done with those 3 papers, you're also required to do the employability module, which is responsible business management. Then at that point, once you're done with that level, you get what we call a higher diploma in accounting and business. Then we move to the 3rd level or the 2nd level of ACCA. Now we are looking from what you see as knowledge to strategic professional. That's the main ACCA qualification. This is foundations for those who come in with the minimum, with no minimum entry requirements.